How I went from renter, blooper, how I went from renter to home buyer and buy my home with some equity. What up? You got Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And in this brief video, I want to keep this real short and sweet because I'm just going to kind of do an overview, but I want to give you a free video case study that you can click on and get access to and let that do more talking than I'm going to do in this video. But how I went about going from renter to homeowner and bought the home with some equity in it. And at the time, I didn't realize how beneficial it was. But I was like, this is something people need to know. And if they do this, they can buy their home in a way that positions them to have some wealth already built and tied up into their house, unlike how many people buy their home. Most people buy their home like they buy their car, meaning when they buy their car, they pay whatever the sticker price is, and when they pull off the lot, it's worth less than what was on that sticker. So now they're upside down and they spend years paying on their car, trying to catch up until the car finally is worth a little bit more than they owe, and then they finally get it paid off. That's how most people buy their home. They're automatically upside down, and it's so common that to buy your house upside down is normal. However, when you talk to somebody like myself who says they bought the home with equity, that's kind of foreign, especially if it's a home that you plan on living in. So I want you to kind of switch your mentality. And if you click the link below, bit.ly/renter home buyer, I got a free video case study that talks about how you can have a high credit profile with the banks and basically be in a position to qualify for your first home without worrying about being denied. But in that video case study, I also talk about what I'm sharing with you, which is how I was able to buy my home and have some equity. And I'll give you a little insight in this video, but the other video dives in deeper. So I highly recommend you grabbing that free video case study right now. Even if you don't watch the rest of this video, click that now and you'll get more details on what I'm about to say. You'll save yourself a couple of minutes of time and you'll get more value, and you'll see if it's something that we can do to assist you in doing the same thing. Now, that being said, what you got to understand is this. Since most people buy their homes wrong, then it has to be a better way to buy a home. Now, what we did per se is once I was renting where I was living for a certain amount of time. And I was also going through the journey of understanding how real estate and investing in real estate worked. So I was able to think to myself one day and say, you know what? I should buy where it is that I'm renting. So that's the key nugget. If you're renting somewhere outside of a large apartment complex and you like it enough, consider seeing if the owner of your property is willing to sell. And it's a good chance they may be, especially if you've been there a while or it's a person who's older. And now you can get the home that you're already living in at a great price, and it might already have some equity in it because that's exactly what we were able to do. So we rented for, quite a bit. And basically, I was able to dig up their contact because they were using an apartment or a property manager. So I never was in direct connection with the owner. But I did my own homework, found out who owned it, called them up, sent them a text, let them know I was serious. They called me back and I was like, man, yeah, if you make an offer, I'll go ahead and buy. So I had a number in mind, but of course I shot way below. I was like, I'm hoping I can get it for X. He was like, we have to do at least this. And since that number was under what I had in mind, I went ahead and said, yeah, we'll buy it. We pretty much went through the home buying process and was in and out in less than 2 weeks because I was kind of already in position. My credit was already in good shape. And then I had, amount that could have been dumped into the down payment and things of that nature, and getting the appraisal, things of that nature. So I was able to dump the money into it, and the process was pretty seamless. But the power in that is this. If you buy a home that you might already be renting in, or a home that's off the market, that's the key. Now, a lot of real estate agents and realtors won't like that nugget. And I work with real estate agents, so I know they have their benefits. So it's not to, take a shot at the whole industry. But if I can give you some information that can better position you to have some wealth and some equity in your home from day one, I promise you that's priceless. because most people are upside down for a long time as it relates to buying their home. And if you start off with some equity, now you have yourself a potential to leverage that equity and do some other things and build wealth. So that's a whole nother conversation. But you're finding an off the market property that you want. And once you do that, you find the owner, you contact, make an offer, see what they're willing to do based on what you want to do and based on what you feel you can afford. And there's some formulas out there. You know, you definitely want to buy a property or a home that doesn't cost more monthly than 30% of your income. 29%, if you can stay under 29%. Basically, if you make $1,000 a month, you don't want to be spending more than $290. That's just a goal. That's just something that you can think about in order to determine how low you can stay under. And a lot of people go above that, but this gives you a level of freedom knowing that 70% of your income isn't even tied into your mortgage. So that's a cool place to be, because what happens is many people buy above their means, or they buy, and majority of their income, gross income at that, is more than 50%. So now they're stuck to the job or whatever their primary source of income is, because if they don't get this mortgage paid or don't stay at their job, then it's a chance that their mortgage won't get paid. But if you stay under that 29%, that's just an extra bonus that can give you a little sense of freedom throughout the whole duration. But it makes it easier if you buy a home off the market, because now you can minimize some of those fees. And at the closing table, you're able to have some equity. Then if the house needs some form of work or things of that nature, when you increase the value by getting some work done, then that helps with the equity as well. And if you buy in an area that you see has some potential to grow, then you can also be like us, because it was a house that sold across the street from us for almost triple what we paid for ours, almost triple. So anyway, check out the free video case study. I just want to get people in the mindset of thinking about buying their home right, in a way that they're not upside down and they have some equity. That's going to break some generational curses. That's a whole nother, frame of thought. But the time is now. And I'm here to deliver that message. Grab that free video case study. And if it gives you some value, implement what it is that you learn. And if it's a way that we can help you execute on that, or we can work with you if we feel it's a good fit, because we want to work with everybody, we want to bring everybody on, but with the ones that we do bring on, we definitely want to make sure we're able to serve them at a high level. So that being said, click the link, grab a free video case study, like, share this video, do whatever you got to do, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. That's all I got for this particular video. Until I see you again, Mr. Smith signing out.